Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to MTG Arena. So today is Monday, October 14th. We're pretty new to this. We're playing ranked stand. Pretty much that's all we're gonna do. For a while at least, we'll be playing standard ranked. There are some other ways to play that I tried and experimented with, like this traditional standard play is a best of 3 match versus another player using standard decks. Traditional standard ranked is an alternate competitive queue that uses a best of 3 rules in standard decks, where this is just a default competitive queue. It uses standard decks too. These other ones less described and not interesting. Bot matches too. I mean, we could certainly play a bot match, or we could just play a non-ranked match, but there's no reason to do any of that right now. Like, I don't see any reason why anybody shouldn't just be playing standard ranked. So we're gonna play the black mana deck, Out for Blood, and we're gonna start covering the video game news because I can't sit here and just be hyped and excited about the game I'm playing, which I can't even remember the name of, obviously, the Magic the Gathering Arena. But then we might also just get into regular play, like, so unlike some of my previous streams, I'm hyped and excited to play. We have to get all the daily quests done. Once all the daily quests done, I guess I could wrap up at that point and save myself some time, but I'm not sure I really would want to do that. The weekly quest is a little bit of a spanner in the works, but not by much. I'm going to be doing a lot of this too. Let's see. Gains Death Touch and +1. This one could buff, so we want to play this first. So if I can get this guy to take 4 damage by the end of the turn, these guys will buff up. Meanwhile, this guy has Death Touch, so I can defend with him. So just go ahead and attack here. I need to see if I can fix this. Let's see about this. Audio, play audio while minimized. Alright, good. Will that fix that problem? Yes, it will. Thank goodness, because that was getting super annoying. Destroy a target creature. Do that. Choose attackers. 2 attackers, because he could defend with this flying token card, which that's what this is a token card. I think that's what it's called. So is this a vampire? It's a vampire knight. This is a vampire. So I'm not sure I actually have a vampire knight. This is a vampire rogue. Right. So I'm gonna attack with this guy, because even if he gets blocked by this guy, he'll kill him with Death Touch and still gain life. That will give a 1/1 token, making this a 3/4. So his choice to block doesn't help him. Let's see. Things are still kind of in flux, inevitably. So we'll have to make sure. And almost certainly when we're near the end of the stream, I will at that point have to do this. Let's see. Do I want to use this ability? Knight of the Ebon Legion gets +3/+3 and gains death touch until the end of the turn. I'm going to activate that ability, and then I'm going to attack with this and attack with this and go. And he can't block the thing. Now there is a control you can do here for full control if you hold down the control button, but let's see. Is there something I can do? I can't do that. I don't have enough mana. So I'm just gonna hit next. So there is a way this would go where you could play a little bit better if you know what you're doing. That's a big if. I know some of these in the past have been pretty crazy. Attack with this, attack with that, and then attack again. Some of the chains of effects you can play get really crazy, and that was one of the frustrations with Magic the Gathering. So yeah, right now I'm going through my Twitter feed and finally started getting a few new bits of news in the past hour. I guess that probably shouldn't surprise too many people, and getting news outside of the time that most people are awake seems unlikely on Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what this does. If this resolves, it gives everything a bump. Alright. Nice. And it exiles that card, which that sucks. So here's a point that happens a lot, I think, too, is you just run out of cards. But you also can have a ton of cards on your field. Is that enough to do its own thing? I think it is. If a player lost 4 or more life this turn, get a +1/+1. So now that this is buffed up, these both will get +1/+1 at the end of the turn. He's pretty much lost, even though he's summoning a bunch of spirits. It can definitely be hard to even figure out what's going on. Whenever a medium goal enters the battlefield, destroy a target nominated permanent. An opponent could non-land permanent is what that is. Which one of these is this? Whenever cruel celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Let's see. Alright, well, I'm guessing I want to kill this. And then I'm guessing I want all to attack. How are they defending with 3 different things? I didn't know that worked that way. I thought only one character could defend with things like that. I don't even know how this game works, obviously. You can defend with multiple characters? Drag the order of blockers. So this should be the first one to block, I guess. I'm down to 2 health, but can I do something to make sure I win? Well, I can do this ability. I can do this ability. This doesn't have an ability. This doesn't have an ability. There we go. Alright. So, let's see. A lot of controversy still going on. Bronze tier 2, nice. And that's 1 daily quest done, 600 gold, 750 XP, and another cosmetic card, shiny card. So 20 hours from now, so it is pretty much at midnight that the daily quest cycle. That's good to know. That instead of it being a weird, sometimes it's at noon, or like Hearthstone did, or sometimes it was at 10 in the morning. We need to destroy 4 more cards. We need to play a bunch more blue cards, and we just are going to slowly get XP and move up. So the last one is Azure Strike, and we're going to stick with that. So, amid current controversy, Gamma Sutra here, and I hope the web peak is working. It should be. Riot calls for esports casters and players to avoid sensitive topics during broadcast. Riot is the owner of League of Legends, and it is 40% owned by Tencent, the Chinese mega corporation that should not be, in my opinion. I don't know if there's really any surprise there. It's like, I think anybody who was playing League of Legends kind of knew that Tencent pretty much owned that now. So there's a much more surprise and shock, and that's the one thing you really don't want to do to people, is surprise them. So here's a scry ability, by the way. I'm going to put that card on the bottom. This wall is pretty good because it just stops attacks for quite a few turns. Yeah, I feel like Activision Blizzard shocked a lot of people. It never really was, whereas Riot with the League of Legends, I don't think it was people's childhood game creator friend. Like, there's a difference between if Uwe Boll came out and said something controversial, and if Steven Spielberg said something controversial. I would say Riot is Uwe Boll in a lot of ways, not having made anything besides League of Legends, and by the time League of Legends happened, I think people already kind of knew what was going on with it. So, no surprise. And frankly, Riot's putting out a call to avoid sensitive topics before it happens, or even after it may have happened, would have been the right response for Activision Blizzard to carry out too. Is just to condemn the use of our stage for political speech of any kind. You could say something along that one. This one is a card I really don't understand yet. I think you have to play at least 2 non-color cards, but then you have to play another. So this, I think, requires 7 mana to even take control of one character, and then 8 cards would be the next character. Let's see. Let's see. This is an enchantment. Can I just play this? Yeah, I can. Okay. So, whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, if it's being declared as an attack, if it isn't becoming an attacker, you may draw a card. So, for 5 mana, I can tap this character each turn and draw a card. That's pretty useful. There's a revealed card, which is up here, which means it was drawn, and so it's face up so people know that it's there. What does this card do? Right. So I'd have to pay 5, which I can't do because I don't have 5 on the field, so let's start that again, and then do that. Then take the action of drawing a card. Of course, I tapped the card, which then I think means that... What is this? Draw a card, jumpstart. What is jumpstart? You may cast a card from your graveyard by discarding a card, additionally paying its cost. So he's putting something in his graveyard specifically to ruin me. Alright, well, we'll play this and chain this character so he can't untap. And yeah. Don't know what this is doing either. Like even now the text is still too small. This when there's a lot here. See, whenever you cast a instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on farmlands, Firemine's Research, remove 2 charge counters to draw a card, remove 5, it deals 5 damage to any target. Interesting. So this one is just powering up. So I think I would need one more mana card. So since that doesn't work, I can instead do this and destroy this. Or I could have destroyed that. That would have worked also. Well, if it's got a special animation, it's a special card. So, Niv-Mizzet Parun. Spells, the spell can't be countered flying whenever you draw a card. Niv-Mizzet Parun deals 1 damage to any target. While the player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. Alright, well, let's see how well this works. Actually, cancel that. Play this. Now do this. And then we're going to pay, I think, 1 is what we're saying, to take that card. And then I'm going to auto pay to take control of the card. Unless he casts something that was... I could have paid 2 and taken this card too. All attack. And go. And so I just stole his card. He's probably not too happy about that. Yeah, he's definitely not happy about that. He conceded. Bronze tier 2. One of the beautiful things here, and should I open card packs? I think we just gotta do it. I don't think we're gonna wait for card pack opening videos or anything like that. One of the things that's beautiful about this is there's not a lot of people, it seems like, that are playing that are good. Alright, next time we'll get an irregular pack with the next victory. More XP. And we just have one more daily quest to do. So let's go ahead and open this pack. So it's rather nice to at least start down the path of making it up rank play. The number of ranks, or at least the way they're depicted, are quite different. I wish there was a way you could get bigger pictures of these cards, but I bet there's some website that would do that pretty easily. And what do we have here? A new Mastery Orb. So we'll just put that in there. And a new card skin. Okay. So we're still trying to play the blue spells. So we'll stick with that and play standard ranked. I don't want to get cocky though. Like, I'm at bronze tier 2. I might get up to silver, I might get up to gold, and then find, oh, all the real challenges is at that level. And I might just be playing with people that absolutely don't know how to play Magic at all. There could be a huge difficulty spike. But in a weird way, we also might be done, so we should go through the news. Gematsu has an article. The arcade racing game Inertial Drift has been announced for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. It looks like a F-Zero clone from P-Cube and publisher P-Cube, Level 91 Entertainment. Got a bit of a video here. Twin stick drift controls, that sounds interesting. There might be something to this, but also this could just be the equivalent of a low effort asset flip racing game. It really is going to come down very much to how much effort you have to put into it. This is going to be hard. If I don't get some more land pretty quickly. So, Flash, you may cast a spell with Flash anytime you could an instant. Right. So, and creatures are spells in Magic the Gathering. You're effectively summoning these creatures out of nothing as far as I understand it. So the whole game is based around magic, which I feel like you don't have to change the name, but I feel like there should be druids. I feel like there should be paladins. I feel like there should be some other twists to put in it instead of just limiting yourself to saying everything is magic. It's all magic. And I still don't understand what the Planeswalkers deal is or what the universe is. So he revealed a land card, which we could dismiss or we could just leave. Let's see. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a 1/1 counter on this character. Alright. Do I want to attack this guy? I can attack because I'm flying, so it won't even matter. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article here. One Piece Pirates Warriors 4, Luffy, Snake Man, and Charlotte Katakura screenshots are available if you're interested. If we're talking about screenshots, you can pretty well tell that I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as news today. Gamma Sutra has an article. Blizzard came out with a statement late on Friday where they reduced the ban for Blitzchung to 6 months, gave back his standings, and I think reduced the or somehow softened the firing of the two what were they? The two hosts, the two interviewers. But their response was torn to shreds almost immediately as being full of lies. I'm not even going to get into bothering arguing whether it was full of lies or not. I couldn't care at this point. And they're still definitely standing by it being unacceptable and that they were totally justified in their actions and their response, and it had nothing. They actually tried to make the argument it had nothing to do with it being a statement against mainland China, or not even against mainland China, but pro Hong Kong democracy. Let's say it the right way and not yellow journalism. Put yellow journalism on it. People aren't happy with that, of course, and I don't know why they thought for a second anyone would have been happy with that response. It's long past the point if this boycott idea actually sticks together and keeps on going. It's long past the point in which Activision Blizzard should have gone out of business. Yeah. And I think that's probably the best thing that could happen, is it go out of business, some other company swoops in. Imagine if Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo even owned the rights to Hearthstone or Diablo or StarCraft. Those games would have gotten a lot better sequels in a lot of instances and a lot better support. But usually that's not how it goes anyways. So more than likely what will happen is I think it'll either survive and people will forget about the boycott, or the boycott will actually succeed and people actually stop playing Blizzard games. And Activision Blizzard goes out of business. Good riddance, I think. I think at this point, if we looked at all the old publishers, EA, Activision, Blizzard, Ubisoft, all of them probably should just go out of business. Like, we need fresh blood, we need new ideas, we need more pro gamer companies in general, and less microtransaction companies, and there's, I'm sure, some other things that could be improved. Quite a few things, I'm sure. Well, I just lost. So let's pay attention. I think we were at 2 pips. Do we lose a pip? Bronze tier 2. Yeah, you don't seem to lose a pip at all. Maybe it gets harder. We get another mastery orb. I really have to applaud the onboarding of Magic the Gathering Arena. Like, if you literally just play for 8 hours or so, you've probably going to be at this point. And I think by the 10-12 hour mark you will have reached full account mastery. I don't think that's going to unlock anything more. And packs and stuff. So 3 more blues, and then that will be that. I really wish you could stack 5 or even 7 daily quests. That would save me some time if I only streamed 1 day a week. But that would be a very, very long stream at that point, and news would be 7 days old. So, despite my morose applauding of a potential Activision Blizzard going out of business, we do have to talk about this Gamasutra article. Daybreak Games lays off multiple employees in company realignment. Update: a Daybreak representative has confirmed to Gamasutra that it laid off multiple employees in the company, quote, realignment. So Daybreak Studios are the developers of what game? That was, I should have mulliganed that. That was a mistake. Update, also an update at the top of this article and an update at the bottom of the article. More employees have begun posting that they've been laid off. They made PlanetSide and PlanetSide Arena, maybe H1Z1. Yep, I don't think there any of those games matter to me, so I'm not super upset, particularly if they're the developers of H1Z1. That's never been a well-run, maintained game, even though it seemed like it was maybe popular for a brief time. But if we could get some good news, TechRaptor has an article. Nintendo is teaming up with indie devs for Super Mario Maker 2 courses, which, okay, that probably doesn't mean a lot. That they probably just asked a bunch of devs, hey, will you make levels for our game? And those devs, probably wanting an in with Nintendo, said sure. Here we go. Tap that guy and put the chain over him. Gamasutra has a blog here. Video game deep cuts, Hearthstone boycotts, Concrete Genie, and indie sales. This is clearly just a combination of many articles. What's funny is I haven't seen a video game deep cuts on Gamasutra in a long time. So they seem to only publish these when they've got nothing else to publish. Gamasutra in particular, pretty horrendous about over posting things and retweeting things. Should have played this first. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Because then I could have drawn 2 cards. Attack. Gamatsu has an article for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Soul Calibur 6 Season 2 new moves trailer is out. So, a new trailer with characters that apparently have new moves. Of course, Soul Calibur having seasons I find rather disturbing because that's not the experience I would want. Frankly, I just would not want to have to continuously purchase DLC. Whenever a riddle spinks into the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to his hand. So, alright. So return that guy to the hand. Yes, take that action. What did he put on here? Chanting creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. The Lawmaker's Binding. Law Mage's Binding, okay. Destroy target non-land or permanent an opponent controls. Does the opponent control this? That's an interesting question. I'd need one more mana, one more land. Play that, so I'll just keep irritating him by doing the same thing. Go ahead and attack. So here's what's on Steam's website. I don't go through this usually because of the fact that it's it's easier just to follow the Twitter feed. It says it's updated every 10 minutes, but some of these times are wrong. Like the Twitter feed for this How to Raise a Wolf goal, for instance, said it happened an hour ago. On Twitter, it said the post happened 2 days ago. So there's something going weird there with their Twitter conversation. I'm just irritating this guy. So I may have to just start using what's on Steam's website instead of the Twitter feed to talk about games. I may have to just go directly to the Steam page itself, which looks like this, and you can see there's a few things that have come out, but then there are things we definitely talked about, or I definitely have seen from Friday. Let's see, October 11th, for instance. So there's maybe 10, maybe 20 games came out all this weekend. Why would that be? If it's except for the possibility that it's because of this guy wanted to test. So, yep. So there really isn't a lot of games to talk about. And what is this going to be? It's just a card. And this is a better quality card. I think that is one thing that I should applaud MTG for, though. Their cards, even if they aren't really worth it, if they aren't really that valuable or unique or special, they treat them like they're unique and special. They value them like they're unique and special. They get other people to value them like they're unique and special. Whereas Reno Jackson is about the only card I could name off the top of my head as far as all the Hearthstone cards that were really important. Nah, I could probably name a dozen legendaries. So at this point, I could wrap up the stream. Like, I really could. This daily wins is the only thing left to do, and I guess maybe if I have free time and just don't want to do something else, I could probably play off screen to get daily wins done also, but I'm not going to. So I might be shortchanging myself a little bit by not playing on Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday. But also, I'm not sure that's the case. I think maybe you get to 7 daily wins, which would be 7 wins in a week, and then that's all you can do. And I'm pretty sure you get to like 10 or 15 weekly wins, and that's the maximum. There definitely is a maximum here where you start to get very little, if anything. And I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a bit there too. So where we are now, there's no reason to stick with Azure Skies. So let's just go in circles. We're doing relatively equally well with any of the decks we're playing. So that probably is an indicator that we are really, really in a position where we're playing against really bad players. And eventually I'm going to have to learn what my style is. But there is a weirdness here, because I'm almost certain my style will be, I want to play a mixed colored deck, and that's not a solution, not a possibility right now. Or I guess maybe I could go try and build one, but I don't know what to build. So I'm going to keep 6, and then I'm going to put this on the bottom of the card. I can't put it on the top of the deck. So we do have a game that came out on Steam here. It's called Zeke's Peak. It looks to me like it's a combination of mini games that are all kind of the bad mini games. There's a little bit of visual polish here. It's from SNK or 56K games. 56K games. Interesting. It's early access. It's $5.39. I feel that's too expensive. Gotta pay attention here. It's English and Spanish Latin American, but it says it has full audio. Yeah, I don't think Zeke's Peak. I don't think it's the kind of game I would want to play. On second look, it's actually all the same game. You have a marble going up, and then you have a bunch of different boards that you're trying to avoid having the marble fall down. Yeah, that'd be really frustrating. What's this? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. There you go, so play that first. That's just not a game I wanna play. Kill my guy, why don't you? If you gain life, that +1, get +1. So I can put a double strike here, or I can play this. I might as well play this first. Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam called Necrolepsy, which I guess is half narcolepsy and half necromancy. Looks like it's an action platformer, and I'm a little split here. Kind of looks good and it kind of looks bad. Kind of looks like it's a Castlevania clone. Let me watch the video for a moment while I come back over and play this. And honestly, my entire standards might have to change anyways, because if we are starting to see a whole new world where Valve actually is curating games that are coming out on Steam, if that is actually what's happening, and there's no guarantee or no word that that's what's happening, they may very well have just taken the last week off. This is an enchantment that we get flying. Let's do that. +3/+3 and flying is an excellent move. And then when I attack, even if he tries to block, it won't stop me with my double attack. Double strike. Yeah, I'm not ready to lower my standards quite yet, though. This almost gets to a point of the game I'd want to play, but not quite there. I think the name is kind of a troll name. It's $7.99 discounted. It's English only, with 26 achievements. I almost put this on the follow list. But in all honesty, if we start to see some curation on the Steam storefronts, and then the follow list cleanups that happen are way less time intensive, that's not a bad move either. Let's see, creatures gain lifelink until the end of the turn. This one doesn't have an ability, so attack, then end the turn. Next game is tag sexual content, so let me just double check all the screenshots are YouTube friendly. Yeah, they seem they are. So here's that game, How to Raise a Wolf Girl, from Sekai Project. It's a visual novel, lewd adult romance visual novel from the looks of it. And the animation looks cool. So, I don't see anything that would say don't put this on the follow list. It's $17.99, discounted, English with full audio Japanese and Chinese translation. Apparently I need to log back into the Steam, which, wow, I did make it almost a full month in which I stayed logged into Steam, which is not bad. What's going wrong a lot more often is I'm having to change it's giving me a random different stream key for YouTube every time I try to stream, and I think I may have figured out how to fix that using the new setup, but the new setup has its own problems. Apparently it's just not going to have tags at all. Which, in all fairness, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube came out and said we're gonna get rid of tags completely. That would suck, and that would become a problem for my videos in particular, because I just thought of a great way to use tags to auto-generate playlists, and I would hate if tags disappeared, but they seem to be missing, at least from live streams, in the new Steam Beta live stream control panel. So yeah. Maybe that'll get added later. Next we have a troll game on Steam. We'll just jump into this, called Pride Run, which is just straight up a troll game, just trying to be offensive and stereotypical in the most flamboyant way, so that it anti-normalizes gay people, so that they can then be isolated. Like Uganda, this has nothing to do with video games, but like Uganda claimed that they're making a law to kill all the gays in their area, straight up. So yeah, this kind of actions can have real world effects. Let's see. So yeah, the game itself looks like it's a combination of mini games that I assume none of which really work well. And I bet it doesn't play at all. It's $17.99. So even if this was a gay game, which it isn't, it absolutely isn't. It's just trolling and pretending to be that way. You're really not pushing the narrative well by overcharging, and undoubtedly there are very flamboyant, very actively, openly gay people out there, and like the Will and Grace type mentality things. The flamboyantly gay people at this point should take a step back and be, what's the right word to say here? They should be more professional in a lot of environments that they aren't professional in, I guess is the best way that you could say that. And not flout or I don't know how to really say this. Like it all depends on things. Like, but frankly, a lot of pride parades these days shouldn't be Mardi Gras, because that just gives a lot of ammo to countries like Russia in particular to make troll games like this. I'm not guaranteeing that Pride Run is made by Russian trolls, but I would heavily suspect it is. To just say this is how all gay people are and all gay people are evil, and according to Uganda all gay people need to be murdered, which is ridiculous. So yeah, controversial statement, I'm sure. Moving on, we have a game on Steam called Cutie's Dungeon, which looks like a RPG Maker game where you're playing as like a cat or a dog. See, hearing the word Cutie's Dungeon, I would have thought this would have been one of those sex games. And I'm still not 100% sure it's not a sex game. Well, it's not tagged that way. This game is free to play, so I guess the price is right for the level of quality it looks like, but yeah. I guess this might be the kind of game that Valve wants to allow people to put on Steam, even though by any sensible thought this would never actually make any money and is nowhere close to good enough quality to deserve to be on Steam. But yeah, I imagine they don't want to crush people's dreams. Honestly though, I think a lot of game developers' dreams need to be crushed. Crush them early so that they don't end up wasting their life going after a goal that they never can succeed. You know, sometimes a parent does just have to tell their kid, you can't do everything. You can't do anything. There's certain things that reasonably you can accomplish in your life based on my understanding of your skills as your parent, but there are certain things you're not going to succeed at, and you shouldn't waste your time. I'm a firm believer personally in giving up early. Yeah, let's go ahead and skip that turn. Because giving up early gives you time to then work on the next project, work on the next thing. I wonder if there are any magic cards that say until your next turn, or if that's just a key phrase that's not used. Because it feels like there need to be cards like that that just last until through your opponent's turn and until your next turn. Play this, and I'm gonna go next, and then next, and then I'll attack and attack. Next we have a game on Steam called Castle Crush, which feels like it's either supposed to be name confusion with Candy Crush or Castle Crashers, or both. It looks like it's a pretty bad strategy game, tower defense game. It's the early access, $4.49, English and Russian, low effort Russian game. But probably not too much of a troll game. Although $4.49 might be the part that's the troll. There is definitely some weirdness compared to Hearthstone, where the sound effect for the rope in particular is not particularly loud. Let's see. What do we like? Voice I turned down, music I turned up, sound effects. Maybe I need to do something like this, and then something like this, and then just a little bit of that. And we'll see how that works. So that the rope itself becomes a little bit more obvious. Paradise Druid has Hexproof for as long as it's untapped. Add 1 mana of any color when it's tapped. Interesting. Alright, resolve that. When Haunted Witness dies, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. just go and pass, yeah. Having a little bit of hard time focusing. Alright, next. Next. All attack. Attack. Anybody gonna defend? Resolve. Next game of the short list of games that came out on Steam, we have Anime Otaku Girl, which this seems to me to be some kind of puzzle game, but I don't even know what it is. Looks like it's probably a low effort Chinese game. Yeah, you're grabbing things with a heart crane from the bottom, as far as I can tell. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And every single screenshot, it's the same girl in the exact same position. So this is like an extremely low effort game trying to sell via anime. 99 cents, English not supported, Chinese. Unsurprising at all that it's a Chinese game. See, yeah, Hearthstone, when it burned down, would make the sounds a little bit louder and give a sense of urgency. Here you just kind of barely hear the burning. Cards will flash in your opponent's hand. That's kind of it, though. Here's a trample card. Get the trample on there. Is there anything that would want to defend? Yeah. Take your pick. If you wanna defend, defend. Otherwise, your characters take 2 damage. That may have been a mistake. I probably shouldn't have attacked, come to think of it. But he can't really attack with anything either, except for this. Let's see. Next game we have on Steam is called Bandit Point, which looks like it's a first-person shooter of some sort, with also archery. So it's kind of like an Overwatch clone, I think, with robots. I feel like we already talked about this game. Well, this is 10% off for $8.99. Full audio English. The opponent's taking time, not me. See, all you get is the heartbeat. So, yeah. There we go. What are we going to defend? We'll defend against that one. Probably have lost here. That's probably why it was taking so much time. Let's see. Bandit Point does require VR, unfortunately, and it is, I think, a multiplayer focused game. No, it's actually a single player game. So, I'll put it on the fall list, as my list of VR games still exists there. I think probably by the end of 2020 I'll make a decision to get rid of all the VR games on the fall list, or maybe not, because if the fall list is now going to be way shorter because games are just going to be curated on Steam, then I may not have to do that. Meanwhile, we have Franchise Hockey Manager 6, which is a hockey franchise management game that's already mixed. It's $35.99 discounted with a third-party account and third-party EULA. English only, 122 achievements, so it's an achievement game too. It's garbage, obviously. Block. If I don't block something, I die. If I do block something, I die. So, in the end, the right move would be to do that. But it's probably easier just to let him win and deal more damage. But yeah, we're still leveling up. I guess I did drop a thing there. I dropped a pip on the ranked gameplay. Alright. And I've been bad about... I'm not gonna have enough to talk about to go for another hour, so let's get the rest of the news done and be done with the stream. 2 1-hour videos. That being said, this is going to certainly not be typical experience once we start getting video game news again. I think that's... See, here's a game, Puzzle Fire Sticks. Apparently this was removed and then brought back. Nope. It came out on Friday. We talked about this game. So, a lot of the stuff I may talk about here may not be even new news. Gamma Sutra, this is probably new. The Mixer co-founder Matt Salsamindi has departed Microsoft. Mixer did get, what's his name? He got Ninja, but I don't know if Ninja has significantly improved Mixer's profile in any way. Yeah. Frankly though, I really wouldn't be surprised if you did run into a scenario where Twitch failed miserably and Mixer somehow did become the secondary competitor to YouTube. And the US president made a Twitch feed, which that's saying something, I'm sure. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset, frankly, if someone like Matt Salsamindi figured out, left a company like Microsoft and went and made a new Facebook or something like that. Something that really solved some problems and didn't have us all using the same Twitter, Facebook, web services that kind of suck. So I don't know how much of this was planned or not, but Fortnite Season 2 ended, and apparently there are over 6 million concurrent viewers for Fortnite, the end event, across Twitch and YouTube, including over 4 million alone on YouTube. Incredible. So this end action happened, and it ended, as I understand it, because I saw this talked about on CNN, so it must be big news, with the characters going into a black hole and then the stream just continuing with blackness for several hours, which there's still tons of people, I think, watching the blackness. So yeah, Season 2 or Fortnite version 2.0 is being teased here, but I don't think people can actually play Fortnite right now. as part of this. So, or he has a black hole. They changed their logo to a black hole. Let's see if this video shows what happens. Like, this is what's happening right now. Apparently Ninja's business phone number is out there if you're interested in being text him. Wow. I don't know if that's the way that should have gone. Okay, well, it's highly unlikely that Epic would get rid of Fortnite, their major moneymaker, and the only thing that has allowed them to create the mess that is the Epic Games Store, besides Unreal Engine. I think Epic owns Fortnite. I could be wrong about that, come to think of it. Come on, play. So yeah, I imagine by 24 hours from now, maybe 48 hours at most, Epic will be on to its new version and there'll be something big and something interesting to say around that. That was the wrong one to play. TechRaptor has an article here. Blizzard forcibly changes Gay World of Warcraft guild name. What was it was Gay Boys. Okay. Yeah. I feel like this article in particular is probably trying to latch on the anti-Activision Blizzard hate a little too hard. I think pretty much it's reasonable in any game that's trying to be family friendly. You wouldn't you wouldn't want that as the guild name running around, just because again it's too flamboyant. It's probably a troll guild, or at least the leader of the guild's probably a troll. There's just a lot of stuff there. Like, kids could hop into World of Warcraft. It's a relatively family friendly game. I don't like the audio here like this, by the way. See if we turn the ambience down to this point. What does that sound like? No. Let's turn the sound effects to right about there. The ambience to that. And see how that is. It's my turn. I'm just doing a bad job of playing. Because this has an instant ability that I can do any turn, and so I need to pay attention. Yeah. Again, I want to say I don't want to just jump into a cancel culture mentality and hate on Blizzard things that are ridiculous, invalid reasons. There's already been shown plenty of valid reasons to hate on Activision Blizzard for a long time now, and maybe the most recent action is the straw that broke the camel's back, but we don't need to go searching for extra reasons to be mad at Activision Blizzard. Come on. What card do I have exiled? Can't do anything with it. Let's see. What abilities do we have? Can sacrifice it. We'll activate that ability. Sure, why not? Next. Next. All attack. Gamer Sutra has an article here. The real buildings that inspired Control's oldest house. So, what buildings are they mentioning here? They're mentioning what is one of the AT&T spy buildings. They have no windows at all. Office life at Kevin Roche. Some pictures here. Yeah, buildings looked like the oldest house at some point. Doesn't mean that I think it was the right design for a video game. I still really don't think it was. Here. Oh man, I gotta remember to play. I gotta get used to auto passing a lot more, because you can just sit here for an incredibly long amount of time, and that's the one thing I think more than anything else that allows Magic the Gathering to just take a lot longer, is that you can really just bone it. I mentioned earlier, Twitch has been down. 15 hours ago, we recovered from all the issues that were impacting the site's functionality this morning, but we will continue to monitor the situation. Multiple issues with the site. So the help portal went down on Friday, and then everything else has been down for a while. So I wonder if that was Twitch, or I wonder if that was the Amazon backend. Special animation there. All attack. There we go. The Epic Games Store also tweeted out something. I think login services 18 hours ago returned to normal. We appreciate your patience. So you couldn't log in on the Epic Games Store. Like, everything went down on Columbus weekend, probably because this more than likely was a point where they scheduled to do major replacements and upgrades of their server setup and their IT stuff. That's exactly what I would do. There you go. So I'm gonna sacrifice the guy and deal 2 damage and then attack over that way. Probably is not the way to play, though. TechRaptor has an article here. Infinite Air with Mark Morris pulling a Halloween banishing trick. So apparently it's getting delisted October 31st. I have no interest in playing games that are getting delisted. It's on sale for 90% off, but yeah, right. I don't think buying an old game under threat of being delisted is a good reason to buy a game. I have gone down that route. Let's see. 6 damage to any target. There's a victory right there. I've done that with some like big AAA games, but I'm not willing to do that with unheard of games I've never heard of. Bronze tier 1. Geez, by Wednesday we probably will be out of bronze tier. And next thing we would get a card and more XP. And I guess we have enough game to play one more game, so let's do it. Although that is turning this into a 2-hour stream at that point. A 2-hour episode, which I should have just broken up and done another hour episode. Next article from TechRaptor: the Kindly Beast Studio has massive layoffs. The developer of Bindi and the Ink Machine. 48 people by best information. See, negative reviews have been showing up on Glassdoor's website since October 11th. I bet Columbus weekend is also a pretty common time to lay off employees, come to think of it. It says this news comes after the less than stellar launch of the first episode of Showdown Bandit. We'll have to see, I guess, if there's more reason for more controversy, or if this is just a straight up layoff. Because right now I can't even be mad at a company if they're just laying people off. They have to do something a lot more offensive first. 2 damage and then you gain 2 life. Or I could play this. Play something different. Let's do this. Do that. What's funny is the black mana cards kind of tend to have lifelink a lot more than you would think. Where I haven't seen the green cards really do that. Each opponent, let's see, what is this? Each opponent loses 2 life. That's 7. Though that can't happen. I guess I have to play this. It's really my only choice. And then does this want to defend or not? We'll just keep it. TechRaptor has a review for NeoCab. I've seen some gameplay of this, and frankly it looked pretty boring. Now, I was a little hoping that it would be more interesting a game and have some more variety to it, but it really feels like you are just playing as an Uber driver, playing a game. So the review here, they give a 7.0, which is below average for a video game. They say NeoCab takes a dark, cynical look towards the near future dominated by one mega corporation. And do I want to attack this turn? I mean, I could defend. No, I'm just gonna no attack. For as bleak as it is, there's a level of catharsis that can be found in the narrative, which mostly unfolds in the backseat of the protagonist's car. The pros are a compelling narrative. Wow, you just conceded. So either he knew something I didn't know, or he's just bored with my slow gameplay style, which I think people are gonna get probably upset with that. So yeah, next we have 50 gold and 250 XP. I guess we have to play another game. I kind of want to play that again, so I'm gonna just play the same deck a second time. Anyways, for NeoCab, the cons are compelling narrative told through vertical slices, managing emotions, hits close to home, and cyberpunk setting still reflects the real world. The cons are a consistent frame rate dips, which that's never fun. Certainly. Yeah. But everything I've seen from NeoCab feels like in a lot of ways it's a low effort Telltale game, which are already kind of low efforts, if we're just going to be honest. By having the characters all sit in a car, you don't have to animate too much, you don't have to change the background, you don't have to put any action things, action scenes or movements. And yeah, even if it had an amazingly compelling story, which I'm not sure it does, visually it would just be boring. You certainly could have made something like The Wolf Among Us, where the wolf was just driving a taxi the whole time and talking to all the other characters, but that would have been boring and not sold well. Let's see. TechRaptor has this article. The American University Hearthstone team forfeits following a protest. This was the university that held up this sign, and then they were completely not punished at all from by Blizzard, and then they forfeited in protest of them not being punished. It might also be that there was a professor teacher in charge of the team, and he said, now you've got to forfeit because otherwise you're going to because of unprofessional conduct or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if a professor said that and told them they had to forfeit, or I wouldn't be surprised if it was completely their own idea. Also, let's see. In this main controversy, choose attackers. Do I want to attack? Sure. I'll attack. What are you gonna do about it? Play this. Play this. Next turn I can play Disfigure. TechRaptor has another article. Hi-Res Studios joins Epic Games in expressing support for free speech. So yeah, some companies are coming out and either being asked directly or saying on their own accord that that they support free speech. I don't know what Hi-Res though makes in particular, so I'd have to look that up, and I'm not gonna fall for some kind of trick there and start playing a high-res game just because they claim they support free speech. It's real easy to claim you support it until you actually have to support it. So I would not be surprised if a lot of people change their tunes when the problem comes to their doorstep. TechRaptor has another article. The park is coming to Switch this October. The park apparently Is this that horror game? The park? Was that even finished? Or is this a new one? Just apparently the park is based off the Secret World, which I think are RPG tabletop gaming. So that's not the park game I'm thinking about. So this one's revealed, so we might as well just put it back on the field. Next in the turn. Yeah, there's a horror game that was kind of unfinished, where you wander around the park from a couple years ago. This is a different game, so we'll see how well it plays on the Switch, or why a horror game in particular would be good on the Switch. In all fairness, even though I'm the one causing the problem here playing Magic the Gathering, with the timers and moving really slow, in all fairness, they need to turn up the speed on their gameplay. Otherwise, it is kind of easy to just get people upset and conceding. Or these might be network issues too that are going on. And I'm gonna play one more game with the black deck. Tech Raptor has an article here. Book of Demons gets super hot crossover event. Okay. Book of Demons, I believe, is a game. That's pretty much all I can say about it. There's no pictures to show off or anything. Let's see if I can read the article. Daily challenges added in the Book of Demons. These challenges will follow the same theme that Super Hot does. Time only moves when you do. Challenges will change out 3 times a week, and there's a total of 7 different challenges. Okay. I guess that's something. It probably is going to take 6 months until I start really understanding some of these cards. I have a fear that by the time I start to really understand what these cards are and what they do, they will cycle out these cards. Unless there's something I don't understand, and like the core sets are just the same cards over and over again. Is Knight of Ebon Legion M20 going to come out as Knight of Ebon Legion M21 at some point? There's a lot of help I probably need. A lot of stuff I need to learn. I'll get to it eventually. I played a game called Don't Touch Anything, and its vastly improved version of Don't Touch Anything 3D, or it's called Please Don't Touch Anything. I liked it. I don't know what else to really say there, but Please Don't Touch Anything 3D is probably worth owning, although a little expensive at $10, considering you're only probably going to spend 3 to maybe 6 hours playing it, finding all the different endings, and a lot of the endings are kind of bad, to say the least. That they've got some problems with them. That they're complicated, or more complicated than they should be. Let's see. Well, only one could be stopped. Meanwhile, the others could get through. Is there? Yes, cancel. Let's no attacks this turn. We'll do it next turn. So, yeah. Please don't touch anything 3D. Probably worth it if you can get it on sale. Probably not worth it if you can't get it on sale. Let's see. I don't promote Kickstarter games, so I'm going to close this tab for this point and click game called 3 Minutes to Midnight. You can look that up yourself if you're interested. For attackers, block or not, don't. Your choice. So, what's interesting about this card is it says deal 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. So each opponent includes if you're playing a 2-player versus 2-player, which is not a mode I think that's in Hearthstone Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena yet, but I probably will come. And it also includes, I think, the Planeswalker. You need to destroy a target creature. Let's hit that. And then let's see, if I attack, then I can't defend. So no attacks. Tech Raptor has an article here. 5 more games join Apple Arcade. So I guess if you're interested in that, I really don't want to go through a list of every game added to Apple Arcade every month. That seems like that'd be just an extra effort. Costume Quest on Amazon Prime. The new season is now available. Season 1 Part 2 is out. Well, I guess that's not a new season as much as that's the big season, the first season. I could kill this, but I guess I can't, so. Let's see. No attack. And Gametsu has an article here for the PC, PS4, and Switch. Cotton Reboot launches spring 2020. Cotton being, I think, a side-scrolling shooter game. Let's see. Yeah, it's about side-scrolling shooting girl on broomstick type game. Okay. And then that's it for the news. That puts me at the Humble Bundle store. And we'll look and see if there's a new Humble Bundle. I don't know why there would be on Columbus Day. Or what were they calling it? Indigenous Native Americans or Indigenous Peoples Day at some point. I can't watch anything. What's weird is that you can attack even if you have 0 damage. Defeat. Alright. And we got a Mastery Orb. Which means we have 5 remaining Mastery Orbs to collect. And that's it. Every one we get from now on will give us a new pack. And I don't know if maybe these new packs then would require getting more mastery orbs for those packs, or what? But I kind of don't think so. I think if we look at account mastery, the next level I level up to, I get the last 5 mastery orbs, and then everything above that is just gravy. So pretty much by Wednesday, that's going to be done. And as far as this reward, where are we? Like, we're at 21. So I went way too far. 21. Next thing we'll get is a card pack, and then after that, and we'll get another skin, and then next level we get a set mastery reward and a card pack, and all of that. I didn't even come to think of it. I do have this dog, and I don't even know where that is. So, where do you set your pet select? Here it is. Fey Fox, common, select. And bronze tier level 1 seems like we'll make it to level 2 silver, which would be 500 gold. And the season ends in 17 days. If we make it up to gold, then we would have 1 card style and 1,000 gold. We have a decent amount of gold that we've just gotten doing the daily quests, which gold would be mostly played for success here. We're over 7 wins in particular. 7 wins for the weekly wins and 7 wins for the daily wins. I could probably play this all day. Yeah, and this still requires gems, so I'm would have to find some more gems somehow if I'm gonna try and do that. Where this would cost 500 gold. So I have 17 days to get really good at knowing what these cards are and trying to play it, and then hope I can win 7 wins out of 3 matches to earn some gems. If I did earn 950 by getting 700 wins, then I would have 2,000 gems. Actually, I would only have to get 6 wins to be able to then buy into the other play style. So let me just quickly, since we started early, go down my Twitter feed and see if there's any new news to mention. But it seems like it's just going to be a slow Columbus Day, and okay. I don't think I need to spend a lot of extra time playing Hearthstone off screen, though. We're at a very good starting point here. There's no reason for me to play. We'll come back on Wednesday, and that will be the next time. And Wednesday we'll have 3 more daily quests, and unless I've misunderstood something, we'll still be at 8 out of 9 victories for daily win rewards. If not, I might do some research on that. Yeah, that might be wrong. I might actually need to play to just get as many daily win rewards as possible every single day if I really want to get all of them. That would be weird, though. On top of suffering from insomnia, the idea of taking some extra time every day to play this is kind of crazy. I'm getting all of my tweets out of order. Apparently. Well, no, I think I've seen everything. So that's going to be it for this stream. Let me know in the comments how you liked it, how it went. It will be more focused on video game news when we get video game news and when I start to settle in with Magic the Gathering Arena. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. I wish there was music in the menu in particular, like audio. Play music in the menu. No. Anyways, sorry. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. Check out my playlist tab. I have a playlist for every game I've covered. There's a lot of other pre-recorded footage that airs on my channel for other games. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon. Or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. That would be very helpful too. In fact, if you gifted me the other Magic the Gathering Planeswalker games, I'd be more than happy to go through all of them in chronological order and show off how this game in particular has improved over those games. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.